All right. Crawford and Geiger, case number 230000163. Ms. Geiger, would you stand? Ms. Crawford, raise your right hand as well. Ms. Geiger, you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this matter?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
I do.
All right. Thank you. All right, Ms. Crawford, what is it you
Yes.
wish to tell me about this case?
Well, it started with her and her boyfriend's relationship. I drove him to where he wanted to go live, and I did so, and she has been harassing me ever since because she seems to blame me for him leaving. I don't know, but she has made a real nuisance in front of my house, screaming and hollering, yelling things out on the street. She's marked my fence up with messages for her boyfriend. It's just becoming out of hand. And then lighting the fire was the last straw for me.
What period of time has this been going on, Ms. Crawford?
It seems like forever, but it's just been a couple months.
And Ms. Crawford, you submitted some photographs, one of which had showed painting on a fence, and another one showed painting in the street. Is that right?
Yeah, she marked I love you, Rob, from my house in Olympia all the way to Eatonville is where he moved to, along the roadways and the paths he would take. She marked up on the streets. In Eatonville, she marked up a car wash. I've talked to where he lives, the lady that he lives with, and she has a petition also against Michelle. And she doesn't listen. She just keeps going up there and marking things up, dropping things off, taking people over there to leave a message for him. It's just, she's not stopping.
And tell me about the lighting of a fire.
She just appeared in the entrance of my driveway, and she lit a fire right there in my driveway. And it was really dry out at the time. I'm surrounded by trees. My boyfriend went out and asked her what she was doing, and she just started screaming that the guy next door gave her permission to light the fire in my driveway. It's just, and the video shows that she was just screaming strange and stupid things. It was kind of scary when she kicked the fire towards the wooden fence that's really old and dry. This place would go up real fast, and it just scared me.
Is the gentleman next door the landlord of the property?
No, he's not. He's just a resident, and he's being evicted. So it's, I don't know why he would give her permission to do that, or why you would even want to light a fire in somebody's driveway.
All right. Anything else you want to tell me, Ms. Crawford, at this point?
I would just really like her to stop.
All right, Ms. Geiger,
Yes, Your
let's
Honor.
hear your response.
This is completely untrue and ridiculous. She has no proof that I have written anything or that I have done any of those things. The fire that was lit was something else separate from her. And she shares a driveway with my friend, whom I'm friends with because his mother was my friend and his mother has passed. He's moving in July and that's why I'm over there. She's not even supposed to be there. Both driveways are his. And he said I could light these things on fire. It was just a therapeutic thing. It was in the edge of his driveway. Then when they came out and they complained about it and he started taking his phone and started recording me or whatever the heck, I'd like to see this video where I was yelling all these things because I didn't yell anything until they came at me. And I said, leave me alone. I'm allowed to be here. He said I could light it. And he even came out and had to get in Rick's face saying, why are you bugging her? She's in emotional distress. Can't you see that? You're not going to be able to get her to talk to you. And he still kept coming at me. They have taken this video and showed it to many friends, laughed at me, ridiculed me. She's saying I'm stalking her in places that are the trail by her house. This is a main conduit to places that I go, including my current boyfriend, whom I've dated for like 8 years. And the other restraining order she's talking about is with his one of my boyfriend's ex, but I don't go there. I don't see him. I don't see her. She's been back with her. I have my boyfriend. I don't really care. I care about my friend that's still living there and being able to go see him or being able to go up and down that street. My son does go to North Thurston. I don't care about her. I really don't.
That driveway is my driveway. That's not a shared driveway. He uses it as a shared driveway and I've never complained about that.
Ms. Crawford, wait a moment, all right? We can't talk over each other. It doesn't work very well.
Yeah.
What about the painting on the fence?
A cop had called me, so I was over there and I went to go get, Jeremy's the name of the guy that lives next door to her, and I went to go get him a burger because I couldn't stay there any longer and he looked like he was hungry. I was like, I'm gonna go get you a burger. She thought this was when I went out to go do the fence, and then when I came back, I was like, I wasn't even out there. I don't even know what you're talking about. You don't even know when it was. And this cop called me and said that he wanted to talk to me about it. Then he never even met me at my place, my mom's place, to talk to me about it. So I figured that he couldn't prove it and she couldn't prove it, so that's why they didn't come to meet me, because nobody's ever said anything since then, because I didn't do it. I don't know who did this to her fence. I don't know. I don't care. And that Rob guy that she's talking about is a player, so who knows who had that on there? I don't know. That's why we're not together, because he's a hoe. But I'm engaged to be married. I could care less about him, her, or any of them. I care about moving my friend.
What about the painting in the street?
I don't know what painting in the street she's even showing. You can't even really see anything in the photograph or the thing that she served me. And the guy in the restraining order, her boyfriend, is the one who served me too. He barged into my friend's house and dropped it on the floor and says, there, you're served.
No.
Yes, he did.
Ms. Crawford, just sit still for a minute.
Yes, he did.
All right, you didn't answer the question about the painting in the street.
I don't know where- I said I don't know
saw
where it is,
a
sorry.
picture, and
saw.
I could read it.
I could see the picture, but I don't know where this is or what she's talking about. I don't know where it is.
Like it's right in the driveway.
It's
right
not
in the
in her
street
driveway.
outside
Is
the
it? Ask her if
driveway.
it's in her driveway. I don't think it is.
No, it's not.
It looks like it's in the street right outside the driveway.
I'm saying there's nothing in front of their house, period. The last time I drove by there, that I was allowed to drive by there when I was being served, there's nothing in the road right there by her. I don't know
And
where
you knew
this
nothing
drawing
about
is.
it getting there.
No, and if it was right there in front of her house, how come she didn't call the cops then for that? Or any of the other ones, or whatever it is she's claiming. There's no document saying any of these things happened, just her word. And the video, I doubt shows anything either. If I was screaming, I don't know what she's talking about.
All right, and this Rob person that is listed in both the painting on the fence and in the street, that was a former boyfriend of yours?
At one point, we dated briefly during a break with my boyfriend currently. It was a very brief time. Not enough to get emotionally upset about like that.
Ms. Crawford, how do you know this Rob person?
He through another acquaintance and a friend of hers. That's how I met her, was through my friend Julie. And Rob is the person that she was dating, and he I just know him by acquaintance. They've come over a few times to visit, but she's saying that
You were just being a good Samaritan by helping him move to Eatonville?
yeah, because he said this relationship was going to either kill him or he was going to end up in prison. So he wanted
sorry,
to
say that again?
Where's his statement? Sorry.
Say that again, Ms. Crawford.
he wanted to get away from her because he was going to either end up dead or in prison. And so he left the situation. And she's been bugging him ever since. I don't have a statement from him. I don't, this writing on my fence, a friend of mine drove by and saw her do that. You know, and that's the only way I found out that there was something on my fence. I hadn't left my house for a couple days, and there it was. And Rob is the name of her boyfriend. Why would she deny doing that? It knows she did it. It's just she's trying to get out of not being responsible for it. Rob is the name of the guy that she was dating.
I said he wasn't.
Tell me again about the driveway and who has control of that driveway, Ms. Crawford.
Okay, there's my house and then the house next to me. We have two driveways. One comes directly into mine with a U shape that goes into his house, and then he can go out the other side. It's a shared driveway. It's not his solely. He shares.
So when you say there are two driveways, what do you mean?
Yeah. There's a horseshoe shape that goes through his parking area. From my driveway to his driveway is like a U shape.
Yeah, okay, I get that.
Okay, mine comes straight to my house, and if you turn into his property, he can go out his driveway too. He shares a driveway with the landlord that lives behind him. I have this one driveway. It's not solely his driveway. Otherwise, I wouldn't have a way into my own place.
All right, Ms. Geiger, what do you have to respond at this time?
The driveway, her trailer's illegally put there anyways. It has an extension cord running from his house to her trailer. It shouldn't even be there. That's why it doesn't have a driveway. It should be in the lot behind his, between the landlord and his spot. So that's why she doesn't really have a driveway. She has to share it with Jeremy. The landlord does share this one big driveway on the side that goes back to the back landlord, but the landlord's a slumlord, and that's why he's being evicted or whatever. He's fighting it because he should have things done differently, and he just doesn't. She say she has a driveway, she doesn't.
Ms. Geiger, you have a similar situation in Pierce County? Is there
No, this
a
is that
protection
same
order
person.
there?
This same person before, when him and I were together, she got really upset and she wanted me to be restrained so that I couldn't come around there. She used her son's name as the person that I was leaving notes for when it was Rob that I was leaving notes for. Okay, but that was back when we were together and I went out there and she didn't want me to come around there. I didn't want to go around there where the kid was. So I just left a note for him. And then she tried to say it was on her son. The Zoom actually cut out is why she got granted it, because I tried to do it via my phone and it didn't work out, which is why I'm here today for this one, to make sure that doesn't happen. But it cut out and so the order was granted. I didn't care enough about her to even fight it, contest it or anything. I was like, whatever, she can have it because I'm not going to go back out there anyway, so I don't care.
Not true.
And I'm not sure why she doesn't have statements from these friends that saw me, or why she doesn't have statements from Rob, or why she doesn't have statements from any of these people, the landlord to say it's her drive, anything from anybody.
Why would
she submitted pictures but no video? It's just a bunch of accusations because she has a power trip control issue, I guess. I don't know.
Oh my God.
I don't really think it's that funny.
Ms. Crawford, you say that she was in the street. This is the incident in regards to the fire, screaming and hollering. What kind of stuff was she screaming and hollering?
She would ride her bike up and down the street. She'd called me a cunt or a bitch. Just up and down the street, she would be screaming. You could hear, I'd have to go outside and look and see who was screaming. And there she is riding her bicycle up and down the street.
And did this happen every day, every other day, more than once a day?
No, well, it happened a couple times a day. There was she would space them out. Whenever she came into the area, she would do that. It's just embarrassing to have somebody do that in front of where you live. she'll say, oh, she wasn't talking to me, but you know, she is out in front of my house. It's, you know,
It's a main street.
yes, it's a main street. Everybody has access to it, but you don't go screaming up and down somebody's street in front of their house.
You might go singing
All
up and
right,
down the street.
all right. You speak to me. You don't speak to each other, okay?
Yeah.
I guess maybe I sing her here.
All right, Ms. Geiger, what do you say about the yelling and screaming?
I ride my bike, yes, but I ride my bike quite often for many years, almost every day. Actually, there is a trail literally right next to her house. Okay, I ride it on the trail. I try to avoid her house. Sometimes I just don't care. It's too difficult, and why should I go by? If anything, I had my headphones on and was singing. And you could ask anybody. I do that all the time because I zone people out. So maybe she heard me poorly singing. I'm not sure, but I wasn't yelling nothing at her. And if this happened, why is she's not taking her camera out there being like, stop harassing me and stuff? The only time I've ever called her a name is when I was sitting on the trail actually with my boyfriend after this fence and all this stuff had happened. We were on a bench inside the bushes kind of thing. And she walked by with her dog, who does like me and knows me from when I did go over there. She let it go on a really long leash, come all the way up to my bench where I'm sitting with my legs over my boyfriend, and it's all on me. And I was like, can you please get your dog away from me, please? And so, yes, I called her something because she wasn't keeping her dog away from me or staying away from me either. And then she put that in there as I'm stalking her.
I didn't put.
Sorry, she doesn't like my singing. I'll try to keep it down. If she can't even understand what I'm saying, why is it harassing her?
Well, it sounded like to me like she understood some of what you were saying.
The day on
All
the
right,
trail.
here's what I'm going to do in this case. I am going to grant the order. 1 year. And the basis on which I'm doing that is, first, there's the painting on the fence, there's the painting in the street.
But I didn't do this.
And Ms. Geiger, I understand that you deny that you did that. I can't
How could you prove that I
fathom,
did?
Ms. Geiger, I can't fathom that there's somebody else out there who had a romantic relationship with Rob that would be doing those kinds of things either on her property or in front of her property.
I know, he was afraid.
You know, the problem in this is, I really don't know why you're involved with Ms. Crawford at all
No.
in this. If you're not, then this should not be a problem for you to stay away and not
Except for my
violate
friend
this
is next
order
door to
for a
her.
period of time.
My friend is next door and moving in a month, and he doesn't have.
Well, then
anything
he'll
on.
have to have somebody, have another friend help
We're
him.
fine. But that's the main area that I go down to go to other places. It's like really literally in the middle of everywhere. How am I supposed to not go drive by there?
Well, you'll
Go
have
way
to
out of
find
my way
another
every
way
day?
to do that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll just move everybody. So what happens in a year, Moni?
She could request that this order be extended at the end of that time,
I hope so.
or if you're, if the circumstances change, it may not be necessary to redo it. I don't know.
I don't know. Am I free to go then?
Not yet.
Hmm. And put in place, and that's it.
Yeah, just a moment. We're going to give you a copy
Just
so
try to
you have it
understand.
in your hand when you walk out.
Why do I need it?
Because you could be arrested for violating it.
If I don't violate and go anywhere around her, then there's no risk.
That'll be fine,
Okay.
but wait.
Okay, fine. Waste of time.
Ms. Crawford, what's the distance from the street to your house?
I'm really bad at doing things like that. I would say like 3 vehicle lengths. I don't know how to, I don't know what the numbers would be.
Ms. Crawford, what's the street address of your residence?
Slater Kenny Road, Northeast.
Can I change my name? Do I have to tell you guys for this thing too?
Pardon me?
When I get married and my name changes, do I have to tell you guys for this too? Something like being Michelle Geiger, does that matter?
Know that you necessarily have to tell us. You just have to abide by the order. Doesn't change
I don't know if they
anything.
needed to update it or whatever.
It would help certainly, but it's not necessary. Well, hang on for just a second. Here's the thing that we're doing on case number 230000163, Crawford and Geiger. I've entered the order for 1 year. Ms. Geiger, you're not to have any contact with Ms. Crawford. You're not to go about her residence because of your statement that you need to be able to go buy that property. I've, instead of putting 1,000 feet, I put it at 100 feet. So you can't go by her house. If you want to drive on the opposite side of the street on your bicycle, that should be sufficient, but don't come within 100 feet of her house or 100 feet of her or 100 feet of her car.
What about if she goes down the trail like she did before and lets her dog come up to me? What am I supposed to do then?
You're supposed to turn and go the other way.
Okay.
Okay? That's just the way these orders work. You're the party that's restrained, not her. So this order will be valid through June 12th of 2024. Did I say that right?
Correct. Could you indicate what type
Oh,
of?
sorry. So Ms. Geiger, we're going to give you a copy of this right in your hand right now, and then you'll be free to leave. And Ms. Crawford, you can get a copy of this order off the website either later this afternoon or tomorrow morning. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Ms. Crawford, that's the end of the hearing on this case. You may leave this,
Okay.
leave the Zoom
Thank
call.
you. Thank you.
You're welcome.